It started like any other night. Harold Simmons, 71, followed the same familiar routine he had for years. He ate a quiet dinner with his wife, watched a bit of television, took his medications, and climbed into bed around 10:30 p.m. He kissed his wife goodnight, pulled the blanket over his chest, and closed his eyes. Everything seemed perfectly normal. But by morning, Harold was gone. His wife, Susan, woke up to find him lying peacefully, as if still asleep. No signs of distress. No warning. Just a chilling stillness that told her something wasn't right. The paramedics confirmed what she feared. Harold had died in his sleep. News of his passing stunned the neighborhood. Harold was active, cheerful, and always seemed in good health. How could something like this happen to someone like him? People asked. The truth was difficult to hear, but it wasn't a random stroke of bad luck. It was the result of small, seemingly harmless habits that Harold had developed over the years. Habits that, especially after the age of 70, quietly increased his risk while he slept. And the truth is, he's not alone. Millions of older adults follow these same routines every night, unaware of the dangers they carry. That's why this video exists, not to scare you, but to protect you. Because knowledge, especially when it comes to your health, can save lives. Today, we're going to talk about 4 bedtime habits that seniors must avoid after age 70, habits that may seem minor, but can seriously impact your ability to wake up safely the next morning. And I'll also share what you can do instead to sleep more soundly and live more confidently. I'll walk you through each habit with real examples and simple solutions. But stay with me until the end, because the 4th habit is one most people completely overlook, and yet, it might be the most important one of all. Let's begin with the first habit, and this one is extremely common: eating large or heavy meals too close to bedtime. It might sound harmless, even comforting. Many people, like Harold, believe that a full belly helped them sleep better. In fact, on the night he passed away, Harold had enjoyed a generous dinner of roast beef, mashed potatoes, gravy, and a slice of pecan pie, all just 45 minutes before getting into bed. What he didn't realize was that after the age of 70, digestion slows down significantly. Your body can no longer process food with the same speed or efficiency it did when you were younger. When you lie down with a full stomach, your digestive system is forced to keep working when it should be resting. This can lead to acid reflux, indigestion, and an increased heart rate, especially dangerous if you already have high blood pressure or cardiovascular issues. Some seniors even experience silent aspiration, when acid or food particles reach the throat and airways during sleep, without them even noticing. Over time, these episodes can become more frequent, more intense, and more risky. And while Harold never felt anything unusual that night, the combination of heavy digestion, mild dehydration, and a slightly elevated heart rate may have silently pushed his body past the tipping point. But here's the good news: this habit is one of the easiest to fix. The general rule is simple: try to finish your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before lying down. This gives your stomach time to process the food and reduces strain on your body while you sleep. And if you really do need something before bed, keep it light. A banana, some plain yogurt, a slice of toast. These are much easier on the system and won't keep your digestive engine running all night long. Since you're still here with me and following along, that tells me you care about protecting your health, and that makes me glad we're having this conversation. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe and join us here. There's more coming that I believe can make a real difference in your life. Now let's continue with the rest of the first habit, because there's something else many people overlook, and Harold did too. It's not just what you eat before bed. It's also how your body responds to it at night, especially when you mix it with medications or pre-existing conditions. For instance, Harold had been prescribed a medication for mild hypertension. On nights when he ate heavily, he often skipped his evening dose, thinking it might interfere with digestion or make him feel too tired. But skipping medication while placing stress on the body, like asking it to digest a large, rich meal, created the perfect internal imbalance. And here's where the loop closes. Your body, especially after 70, is a finely tuned system that doesn't recover as fast from late-night strain. Heavy meals can throw off your natural sleep rhythms, increase nighttime awakenings, disrupt REM sleep, and reduce oxygen intake. Most people won't notice these effects in one night, but done over weeks, months, or even years, it adds up. Think about it like this. If your heart needs rest, your stomach needs time, and your brain needs clarity, why make all three work harder when you're supposed to be restoring your energy? Now let's bring this down to something practical. If you notice that you often feel heavy, uncomfortable, or restless at night, pay attention to what you ate. If your mouth feels dry, or you wake up coughing, or even just feel oddly tired in the morning, it may not be just getting older. It may be what your body is quietly trying to warn you about. One of the best ways to tell if this is affecting you is simple: track your energy in the morning. If you wake up groggy, heavy, or with heartburn, start adjusting your dinner time and contents. Swap the steak for soup. Replace heavy carbs with greens or soft-cooked vegetables. Give your system the chance to do its job before you hit the pillow. And maybe tonight, just try finishing dinner earlier and see how your body thanks you in the morning. Now, let's move into the second habit, one that's so subtle, most people don't even realize it's hurting them. It's sleeping in the wrong position, or worse, sleeping in your chair. Harold often ended his nights in his favorite recliner, a soft brown chair in the corner of the living room. He said it helped his back, helped him relax, and honestly, he just got too comfortable to move. Sound familiar? But while recliners feel supportive, they're not designed for deep sleep. They keep your body in a semi-upright position, bending your neck slightly forward, tightening your lower back, and compressing your chest. This is especially harmful for people with sleep apnea, a condition that many seniors have without knowing. When your airway is partially blocked by your own posture, it reduces oxygen to the brain and heart while you sleep. Over time, this can raise your risk of high blood pressure, memory loss, morning headaches, and even silent heart events during the night. And this is important. It doesn't have to be dramatic to be dangerous. You don't need to wake up gasping or feel like you can't breathe. Even mild restriction, night after night, adds up. Harold never complained of breathing trouble, but his wife recalled that he snored louder on nights he slept in the chair. She didn't think much of it, but now she wishes she had. Want to hear the surprising part? Just shifting to the proper sleeping position on your side or back, with your neck aligned and your airway clear, can drastically improve your oxygen intake and sleep quality. And no, you don't need to be perfectly flat like a board. If reflux is a concern, use a wedge pillow that raises your torso gently. Just don't rely on stacks of pillows. Those tend to push your head forward, making things worse. One final note on this habit: if you find yourself nodding off in a chair often, it's a signal that your body's sleep rhythm may be off. Try creating a gentle wind-down routine that brings you to bed intentionally, not by accident. The third habit we need to talk about is one that sneaks up on a lot of older adults, and it's going to bed dehydrated. It sounds simple, almost too small to matter. But after the age of 70, the effects of dehydration become much more serious than most people realize. Harold used to say, "If I drink water at night, I'll be up 5 times going to the bathroom." And that's a common concern. Nobody wants to be interrupted all night long, walking back and forth half asleep. So many seniors just stop drinking water altogether in the evening. It feels like a smart choice: fewer bathroom trips, more uninterrupted sleep. But here's the hidden cost. Going to bed dehydrated thickens your blood. It makes your heart work harder to pump it. It can slightly lower your blood pressure, reduce oxygen delivery, and even affect how well your brain functions while you sleep. And here's the most alarming part. The early morning hours, right around 4 to 6 a.m., are when most strokes and heart attacks in older adults happen. Not because of bad luck, but because the body is running on empty. Harold had made this a habit. He'd stop drinking fluids around 7 p.m. and go to bed without so much as a sip of water. On his last night, his wife remembered he complained of feeling tired, with a dry mouth, but he didn't want to drink anything so late. That choice, combined with his other bedtime habits, might have contributed to the perfect storm his body couldn't recover from. So what's the solution? It's not about drinking a gallon of water at 10 p.m. It's about strategic hydration. Try drinking a small glass of water, about 4 to 6 ounces, roughly 60 to 90 minutes before bed. That gives your body time to absorb the water and allows you a final bathroom trip before turning in. If you tend to wake up thirsty or with a dry mouth, it's a clear sign you're not hydrated enough overnight. A few sips before bed can help you avoid that and keep your heart and brain better supported as you sleep. Also, if you're on medications that cause fluid loss, like diuretics, it's even more important to talk to your doctor about the best hydration strategy for you. Your nighttime routine shouldn't leave your body running on fumes. Since you're still watching, that tells me this information matters to you, and that makes me glad you're here. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing so you don't miss what's coming next. These habits might seem small, but understanding them can truly make a difference in how you sleep and how you live. Let's move on now to the fourth and final habit, and this is one that many people never think about. It's mismanaging medications before bed. Harold, like many seniors, had a small collection of pill bottles on his nightstand. Blood pressure medication, a cholesterol-lowering pill, the occasional sleep aid, and vitamins. It was part of his nightly routine. But what Harold didn't fully understand, and what many people overlook, is that medication timing and combinations can quietly create risks while you sleep. You see, certain medications are perfectly safe when taken correctly. But when taken at the wrong time, on an empty stomach, or mixed with other medications without proper guidance, they can lead to unintended side effects, especially overnight when the body is more vulnerable. For example, blood pressure medications can lower your blood pressure too much while lying down. This can lead to feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or even fainting if you need to get up suddenly during the night. Some sleeping pills can overly relax the muscles, including those that help you breathe. Others may affect heart rhythm or lower breathing rates more than intended. Harold sometimes forgot whether he had taken his medication. If he wasn't sure, he'd simply take another dose, just in case. It seems innocent enough, better to be safe than sorry, right? But doubling certain medications can lead to dangerous lows in blood pressure, heart rate irregularities, or breathing difficulties. That's why organizing your medications properly is essential, especially before bed. Use a simple pill organizer labeled by days and times. This avoids any confusion about whether you've taken your dose already. Set an alarm or reminder if needed. And always double-check with your doctor or pharmacist about the correct timing for each medication. Some pills are best taken with food to avoid stomach upset. Others need to be taken on an empty stomach to work properly. Mixing sleep aids with alcohol, for example, is a common but dangerous mistake that can suppress breathing or cause confusion overnight. Another tip? Keep a small glass of water by your bed, not just for hydration, but also in case you wake up needing to take medication safely during the night. Harold's story reminds us that medications are powerful tools, but they need to be handled with care, precision, and respect. They can protect your health, yes, but only when used properly. And let me tell you, I know how easy it is to underestimate these little details. Many seniors feel like, after decades of taking medications, they know what they're doing. But small mistakes, repeated night after night, can quietly add up over time. That's why staying organized, asking questions, and following clear instructions isn't just smart, it's life-saving. Since you've stayed with me this far, let me know in the comments by typing the number 6 that tells me you're here, learning, and taking these habits seriously. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and do that now. I'd love for you to be part of this growing community. Now that we've gone through the 4 bedtime habits that quietly increase health risks after 70, let's take a moment to step back and connect the dots. Harold's passing wasn't caused by one single catastrophic event. It was the result of small, repeated choices. Eating heavy meals late at night, sleeping in a chair instead of moving to bed, skipping water in the evening to avoid bathroom trips, and taking medications without a structured system. Each habit, on its own, didn't feel like a crisis. But together, night after night, they silently wore down his resilience. Until one night, his body couldn't recover. But here's the truth. Most of these risks are preventable. They aren't written in stone, and they don't require drastic changes to fix. just awareness, just intention, just a willingness to make small shifts that could add years to your life and life to your years. So ask yourself tonight, am I making my body work harder when it should be resting? Am I giving it the environment it needs to heal, recharge, and protect me while I sleep? Or am I, without even realizing, putting quiet strain on the systems that keep me alive? Your bedroom should be a place of peace, not pressure. Your nightly routine should prepare your body to recover, not force it into survival mode. And after 70, every small advantage you can give your heart, your lungs, your brain, it matters. And here's one more thing no one talks about. It's never too late to adjust. Whether you're 71 like Harold, or 85, or even just approaching retirement, tonight is a perfect time to take that first small step. Maybe it's eating a little earlier, or setting your medications out in advance, or turning off the TV 30 minutes before bed so you can wind down properly. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it does have to be intentional. In the next few minutes, I'm going to wrap this up and share one final insight that ties everything together and give you a few questions to ask yourself that could shift the way you sleep forever. So here's the final thought I want to leave you with tonight. Most people don't realize how fragile and how powerful their bedtime routine really is. They think of it as just the end of the day, a wind down, a few pills, a little TV, maybe a snack, and then lights out. But for your body, especially after 70, bedtime is not just a pause, it's a reset. It's the moment your systems either begin to heal or slowly deteriorate. The choices you make in the last 2 hours of your day affect your next 8 hours of recovery, and by extension, the quality of your life. Harold never meant to harm himself. He just didn't know. And that's what breaks my heart, because knowledge like this, had it come sooner, might have changed his story. But it's not too late for you. You're here. You've made it through this video, and you're paying attention. That already puts you ahead of most people. So here's what I'd love for you to do next. Take just one of these 4 habits, whichever one stood out to you the most, and focus on adjusting it starting tonight. Don't try to change everything at once. Just one thing. Maybe it's skipping the late snack. Maybe it's moving from the recliner to your bed. Maybe it's sipping a little water before sleep. Or finally organizing those medications into a daily pill box. Then, tomorrow morning, pay attention to how you feel. Did you sleep more peacefully? Wake up with more energy? Less stiffness? That small win will be your proof that what you do before bed matters more than you ever thought. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 4 habits surprised you the most? Or which one are you planning to work on first? Let me know in the comments. I read every message, and it helps me understand how I can better support you and others in this community. If this video helped you, please leave a like. It really does help get this content in front of others who might need it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you join us. There's so much more I want to share with you. Insights, stories, tips, and tools, all designed to help you live longer, healthier, and with more peace of mind. Thank you for staying with me through this important conversation. You deserve restful nights and strong mornings. And I hope this was the first of many steps toward protecting your sleep and your life. I'll see you in the next video.